Alright, Dr. Shankopotamus here again. I'm going to be working on the 2000 F250. Here's what I got for us. Let's see if it's in focus. There it is. Alright. We'll be putting in a GEM today. And I will show you how this works. Alright, here we go. Genuine Ford, remanufactured, brand new. This is your GEM. The M is module, so it's not a GEM module, it's just GEM. I'm going to show you where it's mounted back here behind your fuse. I'm going to show you how I figured out that I think this is my problem. In doing a little bit of research on these guys, one thing you might want to check first, I don't have any leak. Check for a leak at your windshield. Get down there, take it apart, look for water in the connections. I don't have any water or anything I can see back there. But sometimes there's a water problem, you replace this, you still got a leak, then you just blew several $100s. You can buy these on eBay, get them used. Unless you know exactly what you're after, you may end up with the wrong module because these fit many different vehicles. I got mine online from a Ford dealer online. Sent him my VIN number to make absolutely sure that it matches with everything that's on this truck. I'm hopeful that when I put this in, I don't have to go reprogram anything. It's matched the VIN already. I should be able to switch it out and get this thing to work. So anyway, I'll show you what I've got, what I figured out, and what's going on. Very easy to get started here. Let me get the box out of the way. Alright. Try to keep it lit as well as I can. It's kind of difficult getting the lighting down in here. Now let me show you what we got to do here. Here we go. You're after this panel right here. So this is your fuse panel. It's got 4 screws on it. They come off very easily. They're only a half turn. Don't tear them up. They're just plastic. Okay? Right like this. Can you see how that bad boy just pops right out? I'm sorry, not a half turn, quarter turn. They pop right out. Voila. You can see mine's filthy dirty. I'm going to show you something else here too. How I figured out I had a problem. Bought this particular truck used. So we'll get up in here just a little bit closer. Hopefully we can get the light out of the way. Get that light on. That helps a little bit. Okay, so what happened with me was putting on a new brake modulator here, brake control. Very simple. You get the right hookup for these things. There is a hookup underneath the dash. Like you guys can see that. Should have made a video, but it's just so easy to do. If you get the adapter that fits your truck, it just pops right in. No big deal. Well, I got up underneath here and I saw a wire sitting right here, just free. Okay? Look at this. Whoever had this before, you can see here, zoom in, they stripped that wire and then they grounded it. All I did was wrap my ground back up. But they stripped this and grounded it. That is coming off of my control right here for the 4-wheel drive. Okay, when I first got this, they had disengaged the 4-wheel drive. I replaced all the fuses, got the 4-wheel drive working again, but continued to have some problems with automatically engaging the 4-wheel drive. I think it's because of this. I'm not sure how they figured this out, but I'll show you with the keys coming on what these guys did. Okay, so we get the power on. Alright, power's on now. Listen up. Hear that? That's the sound I'm getting. I hope you guys can hear that. That's the little sound I'm getting from behind the fuse box right here. Behind the fuse box is where your GEM is. So I wasn't sure if it was a fuse that was the problem. This fuse is the one that helps run your power windows. Just trust me, you can get it out of your manual, but this is the one. I actually replaced all 3 of these because I had extras. Popped them in, didn't make a difference. Okay. When I pull this fuse out, I'm still getting it. So you know it's not the relay. I'm sorry, this is not a fuse. It's not a fuse, that's a relay. I found online, see if you can read this. This is my notes from what I did. I don't know, that might be useful. Bottom left power relay, pin 30. Check the power on pin 30, jump 30 to 87. if you got a good jump at your fuse box. Okay? If not, then it's your gem. I did that. Look on the bottom here. See if we can actually see them. That's a little bit difficult. Yeah, there they are. See the numbers? 87. There he is. 30 on the bottom, 87 on the top. So you jump those. There we go. From up in here in your fuse box. Put jumper cables on them. Trust me, I did that and was able to determine that the problem is most likely with the gem. Now here's the thing about this hardwire these guys did, right? Listen to this. You hear that? That's like, oh wow, it works now. And trust me that when I can't do it with both hands because I don't have a way to get the camera in here, but trust me when I put this to ground, let me just show you the way that they did this. And this is your blue, let me see, no, green. No, blue and white wire, okay? Coming off of your control for your four-wheel drive. I'm not sure what the heck, how they figured this out, but that's how they bypassed what I suspect they bypassed the gem and got the doors and everything to work. So there's something in the gem that's not grounding out properly, so they just ground it out where it's on all the time. And then the windows and everything else will work. So that's how I found out that something was wrong with it. I want it back the way it's supposed to be. Hopefully get the four-wheel drive working auto again. I've been doing manual locking hubs for the longest time, even though I've fixed all of the vacuum hoses and couldn't get it to work, I gave up. This might fix it, okay? There's your fuse box up underneath here. You're gonna take these bolts off here and here. There is two more down here, if you can see that. That's really hard to see, but up underneath here, where these cutouts are, you've got two more. I am hopeful I can take those out, just slide it out the back, tilt it a little bit, and pop the gem off the back. It's really hard to see, but this gem module here is sitting up there on the back. And then once I get it plugged in, that should be it. So let me get to work on it and see what we can come up with. All right, you're going to need a 10 millimeter socket. You really need a deep socket for the bottom ones. The two bottom ones are nuts. The two top ones are screws. You kind of need to go deep. I've got a little wobble, kind of nice. It just helps a little bit getting up underneath there instead of a full swivel. It's just a wobble enough to get through there. Well, I'm going to pull this off and then we'll see what we got. And you do want to be sure that you come to the front side of the truck. I've got dual batteries in this 250, so you want to pull off the negative. And you can pull off the positive too, but you've disconnected it. Either way, as long as you break the circuit so your battery is no longer in the circuit. So I want to pull those off, and you can also verify you've done it right. You've got a light in here. That'll go off when you pull the battery, so you know, because if you just disconnect one, you'll still be hooked up. You can go by that light. So we're going to pop those off before we actually pull the fuse box out from the inside. Alrighty. Oh, there's the Mustang. About to go for a paint job. Sweet. Okay, a couple of tricks I can see helping y'all to get this thing out is pull your fuses. Gives your box a little more room to move. I mean, pull your relays. I'm sorry. Pull your relays. Gives you a little more room to move your box. Turn your box up sideways. Get these out. Okay, they're going to be hooked into the side right here. They have a little latch on this side of them you got to get a hold of. Just turn the box up, get your finger in there, pull up on the latch, and out they pop. Okay. Now I did see somewhere online taking your brake pull off can really help slide off the back. That's true. Once you get it down a little ways, once the wires are off of it back here, start to bring it down a little ways, you'll notice you kind of run into the cable, the release cable right there. You can have another good, I don't know, 4 or 5 centimeters back there to work with. So I'm going to take this off, 10 millimeter right here too. Take off your brake release cable. See, the brake's on. So I'm going to take that off and should be able to slip this right out the back. Okay, hopefully this will help out. Here's the way to get this thing up where you can work with it. You see your fuse panel is connected back here, right? This is your gem that you want to get out. You got 2 screws in the back. You can feel them right there. That's all you got to do to get this off and lift it off. 1 screw here. Looks like it's a Torx. Let me just check there. Yeah. I'll see what size, but that's a Torx screw. The ones in the back look the same. 2 Torx screws. What I did, it works really simple. You can get it to right here, and I'm fairly certain I'll be able to get this off and pop the new one back on. Take 1 foot, push the clutch pedal back out of your way. I have, as you can see, I've talked a second ago, I've removed the brake release lever. That helps. Push back on the clutch pedal. Gives you enough room to slide this thing up, turn it over, and bring it out where you can work on it. And once you get this off, pop the new one back on, slide it back in, connect your wires. I think we're going to be golden. Alrighty. Okay, guys and girls, a little change of plans. Let me show you. Trying to get to the back screws on here, just way too difficult. These big connectors are just all up in your way. Just all up in your way. It's really hard. I got this one off. I think the first one off. There you go. Whoa, little focus, little focus. I think you get the, oh, I'm on the zoom button. That's the problem. Sorry for the wobble. That's awful. Awful cinematography. There you go. Let's get this one off with ease. Just couldn't get to this one. Well, not, I wouldn't say with ease. Wrong. Managed to get this one off. The better plan is once you get this flipped up on its side where I showed you before and you can see these two, you have these large connectors here in the back. You're already in here. Now that I see how many connections are in here, not a bad idea to clean this thing. Look at all the dust and crap that's in mine. And then I'm going to fill this with dielectric grease too, just to make sure no water, get this dust out. This thing's a freaking mess. But anyway, much easier. Take your 10mm wrench, your 10mm socket. Let me show you here. So on the back of each of these is a 10mm bolt you can get a hold of. You can see it screws in, whoops, on this side right here. Screws right into there. Much easier. A little finagling. Get both of them off. Here's the other one. It's the second one. Then you got the whole unit out to work with. So disregard what I said about trying to take these smaller bolts off first. Don't even mess with that. Just take the big ones off in the back, and then you can slip this right out the front. Remember, push your clutch in, get it flipped out, flip it up on its side. Get these 2 big guys off. You're going to need these off as well because they're hooked into here. Okay, then you can work with it as a unit. So I'm going to put my new gem on there and be ready to go. Alright, so we've got the box here cleaned off a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. Well, look at this thing. Maybe this thing got flooded. Or flooded. In a flood. I don't know. There's lots of dirt and crap up in here. It could be what happened to the gem. Anyway, loaded up with dielectric grease. And we're going to plug it all back in, put it back together. See what happens. One more screw here. Okay, it's on there. Let me get it reinstalled up underneath here. See where we are. Yeah, so we're going back in here. Screw our connectors on here. Plug in. Whoop, right on in. Okay, so we're back in position here. It's still loose because I'm gonna turn the car back on and put the relays back in, and then turn it back on and make sure that it's working for me. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, so we're back in up here. Get the light on. It helps us a little bit. Well, not much, it's dark in here. I'm going to have to secure it, but I wanted to make sure I didn't have to go back and take something apart, something misconnected, whatnot. Anyway, remember what I was doing before. I got the key right here. Key on. You hear the regular get started without shorting this wire that they had shorted before, right here. Craziest thing ever, right? And All of my relays are in. You remember when I said I had to short the wire before to get the windows to work, and now we are golden. Windows working. Okay? Windows working. The only thing with the new GEM in there is to verify that my speed is okay. This does have remote control. I may get some off eBay and program them, but the electronics have gone back to working like normal. I bet now my auto locking hubs, they may lock now. It's always worked with switching it to four-wheel drive, but I have to go out and manually do the hubs. So we'll see. I'm going to have to find some way to try to replace this wire, maybe that part of the harness I can replace where they screwed it up. But anyway, there it is. That's how to replace your GEM. Of course, I'm just going to screw this back on right here. Put my two screws, or my two nuts in right here. Two screws in up here, and I'm done. The trick, like I said, is to take it out here. You may or may not have to pull these wires off. Definitely pull these relays out. Makes it a little thinner, easier to slide back. Get your brake release off. Use your leg to push down your clutch pedal, get it out of your way, and you can slide back, turn it over. Go ahead and take the two large connectors off the back with a 10mm wrench, and then you can slide the whole thing out, work on it out here. I tried to get the small screws off first, just take the GEM off and put it back on, but it's so much easier. Take the big things off the back, the big connectors off the back, pull your whole box out. That way you can clean it, all that kind of stuff. Don't forget your dielectric grease. One thing I would do that I forgot to do, hopefully I'll mention this at the beginning instead of the very end, pull your seat back before you disconnect your battery. Make it a little bit easier to get access to everything. Anyway, there it is, replacing the GEM in the 2000 F250. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it.